The following podcast is brought to you by Stammond Group and Stammond Consulting. Visit us at www.stammond.com to find out more. Hi everyone, this is Stammond Group and Stammond Consulting. I'm here today with Bharat Khemani, the founder of BiaAthletics, a company that he started in 2015. Bharat has done very well for himself, and we just wanted to get him here to ask him a few questions about him and his business. So Bharat, maybe I'll just pass the mic over to you to start. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and BiaAthletics.
Hey everyone, I'm Bharat. I'm the founder of BiaAthletics. So basically what BiaAthletics is about is trying to inspire and motivate people through clothing. So the bulk of our designs are all motivational based and aim to inspire you to perform better and get you in the right mindset, not just for the gym but life in general. Most of our designs are either based on Chinese characters that have a deeper meaning or English quotes. So that's basically what we aim to do, and we've gotten really good feedback so far that people actually get motivated by the designs and everything. So I'm guessing we're actually on the right track.
I think you're definitely on the right track, Bharat. Maybe we'd start off with the first question I got here, and it'll be of great interest to anybody also looking to start a business on their own. So my first question I got here is, what motivated you to start your own business?
Basically, I grew up in a family of businessmen. So my grandfather was a businessman. He started his own business. He had his own business, like he did multiple products wherever he could do a business, like different products, didn't matter, like he didn't settle on one. So wherever he could get products in and sell and make a profit, that was his business. And then followed by my dad, who also did business, and like I was just brought up in this environment where we were like, okay, we're not going to work for someone and we're going to have something of our own and everything. So for me it was like, what can I do? Because I have no interest in like my dad's business or something else, and I was into fitness. And I was thinking like, okay, fitness apparel, there are so many other brands and everything right now, but how am I going to be different? All these other brands already have, like, I wouldn't say monopoly, but they already have their own audience and market, and everyone's already buying stuff from them. So there's no way for me to come in and into a saturated market with something different. So the other way was that when I was in the army, we were pushed a lot, and mental strength was more important than physical strength. So, and we were given a shirt with the Chinese character that said perseverance. So that's how I started and got the idea that, okay, this might be something different, because there's no other brand or anyone else doing like Chinese characters that actually inspires you and motivates you, gives you the right mindset.
Bharat, I understand that the shirt that you talk about is actually available on your website. Maybe you can just tell people where to find it before we go on to the next question.
So all my apparel is available at BiaAthletics.com. So you'll get the entire range, the performance and everything all on the site.
Alright, thank you very much for that. So I'm going to move on to my second question, which has to do a little bit more with the current developments in the market in general. So currently we live in a world where there's a lot of social apps. We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, Snapchat. A lot of things are moving towards sort of digitization. Even in the AI space, lots of things going on in that. There are lots of developments every day that you read in the newspaper and you hear about on the news all the time. And I guess the concern here really is there's so much focus on digitization and technical skills, people focusing on for instance, if you're in the technical sector, like JavaScript or all sorts of sort of computerized things, right? And in a world like that, I mean, how much do people really value enterprise skills or emotional intelligence, for instance? interaction with people. If you had to take a breakdown of a ratio or like a priority between technical skills and enterprise skills, again, technical meaning something like, let's say, like very hard, concrete kind of like, technical skills versus enterprise skills like critical thinking, people management, leadership, things like that. I mean, what would you prioritize?
So I would say EQ and enterprise skills are way more important than technical skills. It is quite underrated, especially with bigger companies. Certain companies still have the reputation of treating their customers well and listening to their customers and everything, but some of the big companies are having bad reputation for like bad customer service, bad customer feedback, not listening to their customers, cutting costs to get bigger profits, and lowering quality of their products just so they can make an extra buck. But that's something I actually rely a lot on in my company, is that customer service, customer feedback, and everything is top priority. So every email, every message on Facebook, or every customer message that I get, I personally respond myself, so I actually know what's going on, rather than hiring someone to do it and they just give you a rough idea of like, hey, this guy messaged and he was asking about this and this, but they might miss out details and you don't know what's going on like yourself. Like, yes, it might save you some time, but you don't get the full picture of what's actually going on. You just get a rough idea based on what the person you hired told you. So customer service is really important, because say if you meet a customer and you deliver the product and maybe it's their first or second time buying from you, and they get their products and they're really happy, and you just see that just gives you like more motivation to just keep going. So I would say EQ and enterprise skills are way more important than technical skills.
But I think the example you shared was brilliant, and it's so good because it tapped on my third point, about sharing a sort of difficult situation that you had to deal with. And of course, this just represents one of the examples that you have. Since we're on this question, do you have any other sort of situations that you've had, difficult people or difficult problem that you really needed to use some sort of enterprise skill or emotional intelligence, or solving the problem by thinking critically or behaving or acting in a certain manner, rather than it just being a straightforward technical answer?
Okay, so the largest problem I would say that I've faced till now is dealing with suppliers for my female line. So my female line was supposed to be out, I think, sometime in the third quarter of last year. So what happened was I went through like tons of suppliers, managed to find one that could do my designs and everything, and went through samples and made changes and everything. But when it came to the main order, when they shipped it to me, everything was based on the first sample where the sizes were all wrong. So what happened then was I was stuck with a problem of like, okay, so now I have this whole bulk of like 3 boxes of female wear that are all size wrong. Size wrong in a way that, yes, people could still wear it, but they would have to buy one size bigger. So like, say a girl wearing an S now would have to buy an M size, and everyone would have to upsize one. So either I keep it and sell it that way, or I keep it down. Either I keep it and sell it that way, or I send it all back and actually lose money, because shipping back boxes all the way to China would have probably cost me a lot of money. So it's either I lose the entire shipment cost of sending everything back, or I take the risk of keeping the female wear and have a lot of problem with customers where they buy a size and they say, oh, it's not right and this fitting is wrong and everything. So I decided to send it all back and take the hit. So I lost money so I lost a couple $100, like, instead of having the issue of like customers complaining like, oh, this size doesn't fit right, this issue, this measurements issue, and like, the quality is not good or whatever. So rather than having bad customer feedback and like spoiling the brand reputation for having like bad sizing, bad quality, etc., etc., I rather lose the money on the shipping rather than to try and make it happen with lousy quality products. So after that till now, it's just been an issue of finding the right supplier. So even recently I found another one that it seemed alright till like went through a couple of samples, and then right at the final sample they sent me one that had a slanted logo. So I asked her why is the logo slanted. She said, oh, because you're ordering not our usual like high quantity of 500 sets and everything. So the printing method we use is a different one where your logo can actually be slanted. So just take note of that. So the way she casually told me about it of like, just take note that your logo can be slanted, I was like, this is not right. So I said, if you can't even make an effort of making a straight logo on the clothing, there's no way I'm going to do business with you. So I spent few months going through suppliers and getting samples, and right at the final step there's always some issue. So that's why till now I haven't even gotten my female wear out yet, because I haven't found someone that can meet my quality standards and like, you know, keep up the brand's reputation for quality products. So I'm not gonna like, just because I'm like supposed to launch last year and I haven't launched till like now, and it's already like the middle of 2017, I'm not gonna rush something just because it's supposed to be out a while ago. I would rather have proper products that the customers will actually like, rather than have so many customers like, you know, complaining and saying that this size is not right, the fit is not good, or the quality is not good. Like, it's just not right.
Thank you very much, Bharat. I think those examples again are really cool. I mean, I also find it strange how she's so casual about the fact that she'd print a logo slanted like that. But yeah, I mean, again, it just shows that you really value the face-to-face interaction with the customers. Like how just now earlier you told us about how you deliver, you know, your items personally, and you obviously want, you know, to not go and replace people with robots. You know, I mean, that's what's definitely coming across, and you definitely value these skills, and at the end of the day, you understand that people are the ones who really build a business. Right, I think that's what's really coming across. So, I mean, I've only got one or two more questions here, and I'd just like to ask you, if someone had, and again, this is something that I think you do very well in terms of EQ. I think, like yourself, you are a small team right now, focusing on what you do best, and as your team grows, I'm sure you'll also want them to be equipped with the same kind of skills that you have. So, if someone were to have, like, let's say, work on a program to increase, you know, enterprise skills or emotional intelligence of your employees, and it was affordable, would you consider sending your staff for it?
Okay, so basically right now it's still a one-man thing. So I'm running everything from customer service, messages, feedback, delivery, postal, design, ordering, shipping, everything is still done by myself. So in the future, if I were to hire someone, it will be based more on EQ rather than you showing me you have a cert from Harvard or something. Because someone, say if two guys come in who can do website design, one has like maybe some private university degree, but he can perform the same thing, and someone else comes in with a Harvard degree saying that, hey, I can do this and this. But if the way they talk and the way they answer questions, or like maybe some example scenario we put in front of them where how they respond to a customer, if the guy with the private university degree does it better, I'm just going to hire him, because in the end it's about creating a good customer experience from start to end. It's not just about how good your paper says you are, or like, you know, how good you think you are. For me it's more about how they would treat someone else, like, you know, rather than how big or like how well known your cert is. So obviously if there is a course for, like, you know, EQ, and where someone can actually learn and, you know, build up like customer relations on how to treat customers and respond to them and treat them like humans rather than, like, you know, just some blank face on the internet, like that will obviously be something my company would consider sending our staff to.
Thanks again, Bharat. This was an interview with Mr. Bharat Khemani, CEO of BiaAthletics. And like I mentioned, if you want to get to know more about him, you can visit him on his website. This interview today was brought to you by the kind courtesy of Bharat Khemani, as well as Stammond Consulting and Stammond Group. You can visit us on www.stammond.com for more information. Thank you very much, and good night, everybody.